I will start recording. Hi everyone to this week's Realms call. So sorry I missed the last one. I was, as described to Mo a few minutes before some of you arrived. I had major freak out moment to deal with because my computer kept bugging out on me. Like, I don't know. I don't actually still know what's happening and what's going on. But yeah, so I'm the computer is still crap, okay? But I have found a way to deal with the idea that my computer sometimes just turns itself off and on again. So if I suddenly not here anymore, you guys know what happened. It's not another blackout in Peru, it is just my computer bugging out. Okay, well, if you don't mind, I would even start this week with giving an update from Alana's realm. So as some of you know, we've been working a lot and very focused on our partnership with the Tech Adventures Festival, and we're more than just excited, especially because Sam Huygen, who some of you might know, some of you might not know, but like I'm a huge fan. So to me specifically, it was crazy cool when he retweeted Alana's post. Thanks to Adam, obviously, not because he knows Alana really. But yeah, super excited about that and all of the support that's been coming around. Hi Pablo, you want to say something? Oh, I cannot hear you. Just so you know, I couldn't hear you. Your mic was open, but I couldn't hear you. Okay, um, I will just continue, and yeah. So that was really nice, and especially because a lot of his followers are obviously female, young females, and I told you guys before when I was at East Denver, it was kind of a little bit not shocking but a little bit devastating to see and realize that yet again it's another space in which like there is very sad female underrepresentation. So I had some girls comment on the post and they were like, oh, this sounds interesting, oh, cool recommendation, thanks Sam, you know. So I think that's very healthy, to draw this kind of attention towards technology, especially female followers of Sam's. So that's really great. Also, just quickly, I want to share my screen with you before then I hand over the word, obviously. So some of you know that already from the public channels, but this is like our work board where everything is happening on. And thanks to another friend of Adam's, Where's the Data, who is now also here. Hi, Adam. We also had a little meeting with an architect who will help us designing the superstructure, as he calls it. So essentially the outer shell of Alana's Arendelle Chateau, which is obviously super amazing because we are no architects, and that's like interior we can do. And Zoe and Hija have been working like little crazy bees on all of those different drafts, like from the speaking mirror to interior living room drafts and all of that. And I've been working on the travel pod, and it's, still the mask it's not done. Don't worry, it's not done. This is not how it's going to look. And yeah, and then we have those displays, and this is actually where I'm showing this. So this one is a jewelry cabinet, glass cabinet, which is already glad to and happy to say Javels is gonna curate this glass cabinet with different jewelry from the different designers they have on a platform. And then we have 8 of those, and I'm happy to hear if any of you guys have proposals for those, because we had in mind one rack, one designer. So if you guys want to share anything or want to exhibit something, please let me know, but I will also make an announcement later today. And then in the middle, we're working on getting like this one really, like, we want this collaboration to happen. It's It's with a brand from Scotland, and they make amazing tartans and tartan fashion. And we really want to exhibit their stuff on this middle display. But yeah, we're working on it. It's not, as you guys know, it's not so easy to convey Web3 to Web2. So yeah, we're working on it, and please cross your fingers it's going to happen, because we really want this to happen. So yeah, that's I guess we also have a website now, but it needs to be debugged, and like there has to happen a transfer, but we also have that now. And yeah, just tons of stuff going on right now, but I think that's the gist of it, so I will stop now. Who wants to go next?
Well, Stella, don't forget you have to share one good thing that happened too. I know there's been a lot of stressful stuff, but what good thing has happened for you in the midst of it all?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, the good thing that, or the thing, that got me out of bed and I was like, oh wow, that happened, was definitely the retweet from Sam that got me like all excited. That I would say was definitely the good stuff, like the happy moment. And yeah, for most of the newbies here, right, we're trying to do to always say like what we've been accomplishing during the past week, and also what made us happy, or something that was stressful, or something we need help with. So these are like kind of the things like I'm asking you guys for when I pick random people from the crowd. So Mo, you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next, and I will keep it brief. Like I said, I got my timer set because I know sometimes raw down we got a lot going on. Okay, I get passionate, and I want to tell you guys all about it. But we have a lot of amazing things happening. I'll start with my good thing for what's happened. It actually just happened today where we officially onboarded a project manager. So very excited about that because, like I said, we have a lot of projects and initiatives that we're doing. So to have somebody who focuses on like packaging these projects, like I keep like reiterating to people, we have to get down pat. And there's also into like data analysis and like knowing, making sure we're presenting all of the stuff in a way that makes sense so that we can grow our community organically, onboard the right community members, and be, putting out our education in a way that makes sense. So it was very exciting talking with her and just the stuff that she had to on board. So that was our good thing, onboarding that. And then some of the things that we've been working on this week is actually outlining our bylaws. So I know this is something that we've all kind of been like talking about as well. So I made a white paper, I made a roadmap. So we have both of those checked off now. Well, they're like rough drafts or first drafts, and I'm both finalizing those for. And next we have to actually like get our website going and start like applying for grants. So we want to also have our bylaws outlined very well so that as members are joining, it's just very clear, the standards, expectations. Also something I've been really narrowing down is like giving people just a responsibility so that they have like an area of focus and know like this is all you should primarily be focused on, kind of, because I think I've realized a lot of members come in looking for that, like, they want a role or a responsibility. So we've created like a list of all of our responsive or all of our roles and positions available so we can put it out to the community. Like, say for example, our Instagram team, that's like 3 people, so there's 1 person on there and 2 positions available. And then, a Twitter space mod, somebody to actually host those, and a community manager and a front end developer, and making it more specific, like putting out there what we actually need from our community so that they can fill that in. So once we, have those roles outlined and our bylaws outlined so that as members are joining, we're going to start actually getting our contribution NFTs together as well. Those will be airdropped like once we actually have our smart contracts rewritten. So that's not like a big rush of ours, but that will go hand in hand because again, once you get your contribution NFT, that will be you agreeing to these bylaws, and then you can burn it or however in order to withdraw from the DAO as well. So implementing a lot of the stuff we've been talking about amongst ourselves, into the DAO as well, and figuring out the structure. Some big stuff that we have planning or that we're planning for is our physical to digital fashion show. We have partnered up. We've actually partnered up with two people as well, so we won't be having our own like big seasonal workshop at the end of this season in June, because during that time I'm going to be speaking with Adam as well during his festival, and we'll be talking about the Raw DAO at that time. So that's happening. So we'll be there, and trying to put together a little like show, kind of like a presentation, just to show people physical to digital and all the cool stuff we have, and maybe even get some physical pieces. Because one of the collaborators I work with, you guys know him, Dylan. He's in Scotland, so we've kind of been doing this idea on how we can bring our glow in the dark t-shirts together and really make this like epic thing. So that's that. And our physical to digital fashion show though. So Metagames is like this really big Discord. They have a really big workshop that's happening that month as well. And a lot of their builders have been helping us build our first metaverse hub in Neos Metaverse. So we've kind of just joined forces. They're going to have a workshop with concerts and all this kind of stuff anyways. So we are just going to build out our little raw hub in the Neos Metaverse that everybody will be able to teleport to. And then we're going to put on this whole physical to digital fashion show. And so something that would look like, because I would like all of you all to participate as well. I know it's kind of moving into the last minute of things at this point. But even if it's like fashion that you've already had and just want to display, we're trying to show people like utility that you can actually do with this digital fashion NFTs that you're getting. So what you can do with Neos is literally import any avatar and any 3D items. So we want to import avatars in the different outfits, and then the avatars can literally walk and model the clothes, and have some cool ideas of like teleporting and like all the cool things we can make the avatars do at that point. But for the digital aspect, we want to import a bunch of avatars and all the digital fashion in order to promote that. And then we'll have like big jumbo streaming screens that you can have in the metaverse that can have like physical models on it, and they can be wearing like filters from Entourage or filters from Dress X or physical fashion, but they will be streamed on the like screens while the digital avatars are walking in the digital counterpart. So that's like our big mission right now, is like actually tunnel visioning and setting that and promoting it so people can join forces with that. It's also really cool. We meet bi-weekly together with our whole building team in order to build our metaverse together. So that's been a lot of fun and growing, and everybody's definitely starting to see the impact of that. Even like the Neos Metaverse, a lot of their like natives hopped in our world when we were in our building session. So that's been really cool. This week when we have our building session, we'll be like, or next week, sorry, next Saturday, we'll be having teams and actually, separating, like you focus on the stage, you focus on the lights, you focus on the avatars, and get some solid content to start advertising to artists. Like, if you want to be involved, here's what needs to be done so that we can get it done. And then start advertising to people too. Come join the fashion show. It will be a free event as well. I know Metagames is, free for their stuff. So it'll be free and a way for us to just get everybody minting NFTs, doing reviews on the marketplaces they minted on, and kind of like kickstarting a lot of the stuff we've been working on this season.
Wow, that's really cool. There's a lot going on for you as well.
I know, but that was a great summary. I looked at the time like, good job, Mo.
Yeah, you did.
I could keep going, but that was it.
No, you did well. Awesome. Thank you, Mo.
Definitely.
Kalau, you want to share next? Like setting your donut aside for a second.
Oh, the donut. Yeah, if anyone has done the blender tutorial of the donut, feel free to do it with me. It's still not done, and it's been a while now, so. Yeah, Mo's going well, and Stella with Elena. She is getting a mansion. She is coming to life. Like, what else would you want? There's nothing else. So yeah, I'll share from our side, from Ultra Rage, Ultra Raj, however you want to say it. It's up to you. And some of you, we were just chatting. So we have been, I think in the beginning, trying to do everything. But now for us, it's really about getting focused. It's like, okay, what is Entourage? Like, what do we want to do? What is like our main mission? And so that has been like rewritten so many times. And so now with like our strategy side, we're finally becoming very clear on like what that is. And so we'll be finishing that soon. And then also like we have also figuring out what is like the way to onboard people into a DAO. And so I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Other kind of experiences I've had have been very difficult to understand, like, where do I go? What kind of role, like you were saying, Mo, can I get involved with? What is the objective of this thing? Like, why should I get involved? And so I think kind of before now, like we start bringing more people in, that's very clear. And so especially if we're also like targeting like fashion people, like it needs to also be a bit more streamlined. So we've been with Janet working on how do we make that onboarding process super easy in a Discord. So we made like this process, like step by step, like you kind of click an emoji just to go through to learn what is Entourage, like how can you get involved. And so here I'll share my screen. And so hopefully that will be ready soon. So then we can really start to kind of open up more of the spheres and really like start the onboarding as like a test to see if it's working, if people like this kind of organization or not. And so kind of in addition with the strategy and figuring out centralize the DAO-led collections around physical, augmented, and digital space using our meta-reality formula. So this is really like one of our big goals. The other goal is how to kind of remove hierarchy within fashion. So that would be then the DAO. And so we've broken these into spheres, which I know like you guys have also done, kind of like departments. And so now they're getting really clear about what kind of ways can people like level up and work together around that. So we have like Affinity, which is about kind of the social media, the showcase events, even creating like an ambassador program, because now we have collections that can be worn. So how do we tell people that we have them? So we have Meta Jack, who's like guiding this sphere, and we have Connect. So these are like really the priorities right now of figuring out how do we share Entourage, and then how can we bring people in a really smooth way, so then they are empowered to get started like autonomously. So those, and then also Stella is guiding the architect and the tech side. Architect is really now how do we kind of build in our own like Web3 infrastructure. We're working on our marketplace to start selling our first collection of LTL, larger than life. So there's a lot to be done there. And then there's like the tech sphere, which is also kind of about the more specific skills around like product, digital fashion product, and like how does that workflow work. And then the last three are the strategy. So this is really close to having like a clear plan of how we're going to move forward, and then as well create kind of like a constitution around that. So we're all in agreement that this is our goal. So that's partnership, sales, business development, operations. And the last two are still in like formation. So if anyone's interested to help build them, the first is like Alter Anarchy, and it's about like combining like transparency with eco-activism, how that will work with like the rest of our spheres. And then the last one, which I'm guiding is the one, how do we create product across like the IRL, the ORL, LTL. So yeah, so these are like the pretty clear, I think it feels pretty clear how that's looking. And so the next step is that we are then just like seeing who's interested, if anyone's interested to kind of like get involved and start working with us, collaborating. I made this document that I think I also shared last week, but it's just really like a work in progress. We have some meetings already scheduled, so I'll also post this in the chat. So yeah, if you want to look through this, we've also proposed like different roles that are available. If someone feels that's not what they want to be a hybrid of something, that's totally fine. But the next step is just to put your Discord name under where you're interested. And then the next step is just to join the Discord and then get kind of involved, have a one-to-one, ideally with like the Sphere guide or me. And then we can start, collaborating and working together on D work, like Stella, like with Elena's doing as well, and then allocating those contributions with Coordinate, since we don't yet have like a token. So yeah, I'll put like the link for this in the chat, and if anyone wants to join, also we will have like weekly community calls right before this every week, as well as soon hopefully launching like the onboarding process for the Discord. And last thing is that we'll have Twitter Spaces tomorrow. I had to double check the time in UTC. For me, it's 9 p.m. I think it's 1 hour before this, like time tomorrow. And we'll talk about DAOs. Like, it's a super chill, open conversation about like how do we work together, decentralized, autonomously organized. So yeah, that's that, and I'll put it in the chat.
Very nice summary. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go next? Catherine?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, that was really lovely to hear from Lauren. Lots of organization. Structure, great. I feel like the total opposite. So we are working, we're still figuring out like what we want to build on as far as like DAO. Still working through the first drop handles. They're so cool. And this past weekend, I did nothing. Just kidding. No, that's a joke that we said. But I was a part of digital rituals in VR, and that was so much fun. And I think the best thing I took away is I met so many people who are interested in the same object that I like, and also into like Web3 or so new. So I converted a lot of them into Digivote people, so that's cool. And yeah, but I don't know. Still figuring out everything. Honestly, I think for Digivote, this DAO, like, I mean, it's more based on chaos value. So again, I don't know. Still figuring everything out. Tomorrow's our meeting. We're gonna figure out like what platform to use. But yeah, so there's more people in the Discord, and that's cool. It's also stressful. But so it's being built little by little. I don't know. That's really all. But yeah, I can't wait to have more fun in VR, and we're even discussing like having book clubs, in these digital spaces, and just more community-based stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared. Like, when you're like, oh, this actually might work out. That's how I feel. Like, that's probably like the self-sabotage in me. But I'm just like, crap. I can't be a little kid anymore. I have to be grown up now. I have to leave. But yeah, so it's good. Just, figuring out things step by step. And yeah, that's this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Catherine,
definitely.
I was going to say that too. I've noticed that a lot of members have been joining, and I think what's really cool is that they're all like into the same thing. You know, like I know a lot of us are like, oh, our DAOs are like, our missions align, but it's like you guys really are like niche aligned, and like all of your members, share those same values, and like I think it'll be really cool to see how you guys actually like come together and build, and I think you'll get a lot of like really great feedback and community engagement because everybody is so like interested in what you're doing, and what you're doing is like really interesting. So like even those that like have maybe want to like people like me, where it's like I don't know nothing about it, so I just kind of watch from a distance, but it's like you definitely have people's interests as well, and I hear people talking, and I'm like, oh, I gotta send them Catherine's Discord and stuff, but then I see you kind of like not gatekeeping, but you be like, who sent you? And I'm like, I don't want to see
Oh my God, that was funny. Okay,
nobody in
I'm
the trap.
sorry. I was because like no one. Okay, listen. I have no shame because there are weird people in the cult. There's weird people in Web3. I'm so like paranoid now. Like I like double check before I click a link. I'm just like I don't know, like and I mean, this stays between us. I know this is being recorded, but like, there's so many mean people in the occult, like magic scene, and I'm just like, stay away if you're a judgmental asshole. Like, I'm over. They're always fighting on Twitter. I'm over that. Like, over it. But
Yeah, and that's cool though that you like are aware of that and like using this space to like do better, right? Because that's
Yeah.
why we are even like doing this with Web3. Like we see all the BS that comes with the traditional ways that we're doing a lot of this stuff. So it's like let's build something that works better for everyone. So I think what you're doing is great and definitely going to be doing well. So no self-sabotaging.
no, thank you. But I think what Domingo said that one time. I don't know if he said it here or someone mentioned about like going into other communities and joining. That's literally what I did this weekend, and it worked out so well. And it's so funny. The magician who led it, I had to buy an NFT to join the VR fun, but like I've literally been studying his work for years, and it was so fucking cool to be in the same space in VR doing a ritual with him, and it was like amazing. And ah, I'm fangirling a little bit. I shouldn't be, but it was cool. So I'm trying to get into other communities too. Like I'm trying to get into Crypto Coven. I feel like they have pretty views aligned. So uh, trying to build up, but also trying to join other groups seems to be working. So
Yeah, it's
that's
definitely
all.
the way to go about it. I mean, I told you that before as well, and Domingo kind of like put it out there again. So definitely a way to go about it because we cannot expect people to just know we exist, right? Um, so one part is definitely doing our projects and just continuing to, you know, put ourselves out there in the work we do, and the other part is definitely to be more proactive and just, you know, join communities who seem like they're aligned. Actually, just one tiny note on that. I told you guys I had joined a while ago the Shiba Girlfriend community, and they sent me a reward. They sent me like I think 3 trillion Shiba Girlfriend or something, which is like, you know, it's like $150 or something. It's not, you know, but I was like, oh, because I'm one of the best 20 community members they have because I share their stuff on Twitter. It was so adorable, and everyone was just so excited about it. So yeah, it's, you know, it's honestly it's just nice to hang out in that community. So okay, wait, maybe Pablo. Pablo, you want to say something because you kind of new here, so maybe you want to share something. Well,
Yeah, sure.
something that excited you last week, or something that was difficult, or you can share whatever you want.
No, sure. I was in the IFC JS community on Discord and met Where is the Data? Adam, I believe. and he was looking for a hosting environment for architecture models for your project, if I understand it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I found you guys. He just invited me yesterday, and we have an open source, free and open source hosting environment for 3D models. The models are stored on GitHub. It's free if they're public models, and our business is to support both free for public and then also private use we charge for. But we're just getting going, and the IFC.js community is people who are, it's architects and software engineers who are trying to bring architecture into the web, so you don't need to have like expensive software. And yeah, so that's how we got connected. And I posted a link to our project in the Tech ADV Fest channel, and I think Deep Thought checked it out and thought it was cool. So I just wanted to make. I saw you guys were having a video get together, and wanted to make myself available in case it came up. Thanks for asking me to contribute.
Awesome. Yeah, I should probably post that also once more in the general chat. Actually, let me grab your message and put this also in the general chat so everyone can see that. From
And it's
Pablo.
builders.
Yes. Cool. Thanks for joining the Realms call. This one is kind of special. We founded that in like the idea of our sentiment that we can learn from each other on how to build out our Web3 projects, because while some of them have something in common, they're also very different. And yeah, so we share resources and we share like ideas and how we go about things. So feel free to join again. It's fun.
All right, sounds like it.
Cool. Okay, who's next? Who wants to go next? Someone who's excited to go next? Adam. Cool.
I can maybe go next just to say hello, because obviously everyone is working in a way with me on my project, and I'd like to update you on that. Pablo, thank you so much. Ignore the phone in the background. I'm still working in the office in the basement. For joining, because we're going to make some really incredible architectural projects from these metaverse models that are BIM compliant, and that's what I'm really interested in doing, is making the architectural process, the design process online. So IFC.js is absolutely perfect. So these two sectors hopefully can work really well together. My friend who's the architect, Daniel, he doesn't do Discord, so he'll never come into these calls. Probably he's very quiet guy, as you found out last time we met. He kind of works one-to-one, but he's a REBA award-winning architect. And we will get a lot of press for this as well. I have worked in REBA award-winning buildings most of my life. We've already got publications interested in seeing this building, even though it's not even built yet. They're going to be quite interested about what's going on, because NFT in the metaverse and architecture is like, people don't talk about it because of compliance and professional process. So this could be a really interesting thing after the festival, just to kind of look back on the experience we've had in sharing, documenting, building with Blender, and automating processes that are super quick, and designing as a team, because that's how building should be designed. So just to update you, we had a few ideas after doing some site visits about the metaverse model that we're placing somewhere in the park. I could maybe share my screen and show you my thoughts around whether or not we do a VR experience on site, like in real life. I don't know if this is possible, but I think it is. In real life, have a VR headset of which you walk down the park and then you get to the stairs and you put the headset on and you can go up the stairs in a game environment. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that can be done on Unity. And I've just got confirmation from a games company called Hollow VR Chat, is where I think we can upload the model, and it can be kind of offline. Like, it can just be the model that we create, the OBG file, wherever it is in Unity, goes into VR Chat, which is a game which you can, it's an open source platform. As long as we say we are not blockchain, crypto, or NFT, okay? Because they hate that. They've got a policy against it. But that's fine. I've signed a document. So
That's entirely, sorry guys, I was just caught up in something else, but that's entirely possible. And also I've been doing some research around, because since you brought it up, Adam, around we're going to get burnt at the stake for using NFTs. I've looked at all the possible options, and I've dug deep into Immutable X, and I realized that actually what they're doing is they're compensating by doing carbon offsets. So I've found out who they're using for carbon offsets, and also looked at gasless minting on layer 2, and I've found a platform which we can do that, and they're also effectively using Immutable X. So I think I found a way of positioning ourselves as being, eco-friendly, eco-warriors, and basically, it's not truly like you're not using any electricity, but you're compensating for your use. So it's the same way that people can basically make themselves carbon neutral. So I'll put all those links in our chat and everything. So
amazing. Well, that's fantastic news. So that's the environmental side sorted. By the way, we got confirmation for a local school coming. There's loads of classes coming. So like, they're called Children's Academy, the computer science, the graphic design. They do actually have a gaming course there. The business, 6 years. So there's a bunch of classes that are going to come throughout the week. And one of the experiences, obviously, the gaming side. If we could literally port those people into Alana's Archiverse, I think it can be done with VChat. We just need to preload the model in. So maybe we could research that. And that doesn't really matter about the offsetting on that situation, because that's just on the Wednesday and the Thursday. It's not for the big fashion day, which will be Friday.
I mean, we have to look into the conditions for VChat. Would you be able to put the link into the chat so we can have a look at the conditions? Because if they're like Facebook and they claim all your ownership, then obviously we're not going to upload anything, right? But
no, exactly. I think it's Unity, and it's owned by Valve, who are Steam.
Yeah. So, another thing as well, because we're on this topic of metaverses, again, I've been doing some research around open source buildable metaverses, where there's a couple where effectively all the projects are on GitHub, and you can effectively build your own world and be your own hosting and convert to HTML5 and cloud hosting and local storage, but I think there's, like you said, there's a lot going on, and we probably need to do some of this post the event and work in sort of slower and methodical time, together.
I'm not saying change direction in any shape or form. I'm just saying VR chat. I'll put the link in the general chat. They're saying we will pay and sponsor your event if you use our game. I just tell them how much money we need to make it happen. We'll just have one headset and we can do it once. We demonstrate that within a learning environment, and that's an incredible achievement.
Oh no, I'm on the 100%. So VR chat is pretty solid. It's pretty good.
Good, and it's well-known games. So I think people could use it at home. So you could say, try here, and then go home and try on your own headset when you get at the festival.
Yeah, it's fully moderated, so it's
yes, family friendly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you won't have that issue because it's a school, etc. You've got to caring guidelines and everything for schools. That's like really important.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my one news there. And then the other news is that obviously I'm meeting my architect friend Daniel in the park, and we were talking about the experience about how you place the building on the site. So where the anchor beacon is, the ferry pools, and how you can interact with it as an augmented model. How does it look from a distance? And I'm going to just share my screen if that's possible. This is the first time I've done that, so bear with me on
You can share the
Discord.
screen. Just
Share.
do you see this like screen with an arrow? That's the share your screen button.
Yeah, it's just asking me to update my system preferences, so I'm doing that.
Oh, okay.
It's coming. Oh no, it says quick reopen. Anyway, you kind of know the site from your mood board. If you approach it from Victoria Road, which is where the gateway is, I think what we want to have is a line of sight from that point where in the distance you can see markers, so lights, we're thinking, around the perimeter of the festival, because we actually have to harass fence. We have to fence and banner and control the security in and out. And what we were thinking is that we could use these lightweight signage along those Harris fencing and put lights like a kind of airport runway where you could pick up then the georeferencing on an augmented reality app and place the building from a distance. So you could be literally at the gates of the park and say, look, go down here because there's a massive bridgeless building, about 200 feet away. Because you could definitely map those points on the model, which I've started to upload to your Google Cloud. But HoloPrint would be the people to do that. We do banners with them. And I just thought, well, it'd be a great idea to sort of have these markers, and that's part of the activity that draws you into going into that festival and it becoming an augmented model. So, yeah, that's the plan.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the update.
Stella,
Awesome
I have a
update.
question.
Yes, Catherine, go.
So I was talking to Paola today, and I think maybe you already said this, but oops, I forgot. So are there any guidelines for what to include as far as for clothing submission?
Yeah, actually, that was what I said in the beginning. I already put in, under Tech Advest, the first post that I made was kind of giving you guys some guidelines. Can you see my screen right now?
Right, I saw that, but I don't know if there's a file size limit or anything,
I mean,
don't know.
obviously, same thing as always counts, right? Keep it as minimal as possible.
Okay.
But also I'm actually in a process of getting a Google Forms out, hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow morning, where you guys can, apply and upload stuff to. And I think like this, it will be probably more practical to accomplish. Showing all the stuff that would be good to have. But I think aside from that, Adam also had this idea that we put in a downstairs area also an NFT art place. So we haven't done that yet because we're on other parts right now. But I will also put out a notice on that once it actually exists. But yeah,
and I guess if you've got large file sizes before you do the reduction, then keep those in case we can do conversions or use it.
True.
For Unity import or UE5 or whatever.
Also, always have double files, right? You can rather give us the high poly and we mesh it down to a more acceptable size format than giving us the low poly. So main point is the garment should look simulated on a hanger or on a mannequin, and the mannequins we still have to make. This is actually what Zoe, Hija, and I will be doing on this Saturday's meeting. But yeah, definitely more info to follow up. I'm sorry this has been taking too long. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I also have to leave again. 10 minutes. So let's hear from the rest of the crowd. Daniel, Anatarian, and Vlad. Who wants to go first? Who feels talkative?
Well, mine was simple. I've been humble all week. I've found out exactly how much I don't know that I don't know. But other than that, I downloaded Blender. Yeah, that was an experience.
Congrats!
I've played with Photoshop. I'm not great at it, but I've hummed a few bars. I should be able to figure this out. Yeah. Okay. So, I learned I didn't know what I didn't know. Anyway, the one thing that I will bring up that I've been trying to get in for a little bit when there was a moment of quiet. You guys have been talking about all these things. At the end of the year, have you thought about maybe doing a masked ball? Bringing everybody together and doing a masquerade ball. Everybody here, all the different groups.
That's such a cool idea. I love
That's
it.
actually something that the Raw DAO is planning. We plan to have an annual ball.
I figured the Napoleonic era, high empire, masked ball kind of theme to it. I get the feeling you'd probably have quite a few folks get all the different.
I think this is a great idea, Vlad. Sorry, you're breaking off a lot. Try again.
So if you try to, Napoleonic era, high imperial time frame theme for the design, brought everybody in to show off their fashions and designs, and you tie it into a bunch of different communities. You could tie a bunch of different people to it, and I think you could probably get a real good mixer going at that point. It might have value.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and also this very much relates to gaming, right? It's a lot of games they play with these time periods. So yeah, I like it a lot. Mo, next time you have to tell us about your masquerade ball so we can join.
Yeah, because like Vlad said, it's definitely something we can all plan, right? And everybody can just be a part, and especially I know all of you guys know Havo. He's pretty fluid throughout Discord, but he's one of our moderators, and he started a fashion hub where on Fridays we will have a big group spaces and talk about all the stuff that all of us are doing, and we're actually trying to figure out a way to create a cohesive schedule where we can just showcase all of the events that all the different fashion DAOs are doing, so that it's just helping people learn how to navigate the space. So I think the more things that we do together, again, that's also what's going to change the fashion industry, right? It's not one of us has to be doing something. We can all be co-creating it together, and we'll have a lot better results, I think, that way as well.
True.
How much I don't know that I don't know.
Well, Vlad, what they say is all of us, every day we realize how much we don't know, and that's the beginning of knowledge, isn't it? So we're all in the same boat, so I wouldn't worry.
Absolutely right. Mo, would you be able to share the link to the Twitter Spaces you just mentioned in the general chat? I think that could be something that a lot of us are interested in. Also, I'm not sure if you guys know, but the Fashion DAO is actually has the means to be established soon. So if you guys want to join, just write to Nico Farah. She's kind of the leader in this initiative, and it's very structured. I like it. It's cool. If you guys are interested. Daniel.
Is there free lunch?
Oh, sorry, deep thought. Sorry.
Is there free lunch?
There is no
to sign up.
There is no free lunch. I'm sorry. There's
it
no
does sound
free
really good, actually.
nothing. No free nothing. Deep dive.
Free plus gas.
Daniel, you want to quickly share?
Sure. Just working on expanding, my Unity knowledge, all the while recognizing all the things I don't know, as we were just talking about. Learning about Merkle trees, which is gonna help me do something with our smart contract, a pre-sale list. Looking into other smart contract possibilities, something called Nifty Kit looks kind of interesting. Don't know if anyone's had experience with that, but yeah, a lot of stuff. I set up my first giveaway in our Holy People community, which I'm trying to reinvigorate. So that was cool. And anyone's welcome to join here. There's only a few entrants, so you got a good chance. And a lot of other things, but let me give the remaining minutes to Anatarian.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, and everyone that spoke. It's great. I was sharing via Discord with Lauren just how I've been doing things on my own for so long that I want to, shake things up, and just being involved in these communities and coming on these calls and hearing has been really good for me, and I want to continue and go deeper into it, so thank you for being one of those spaces here, and everyone that spoke and shared. And one thing I discovered, I don't know if you guys are aware of NFT worlds. I actually joined a community by buying an NFT, and they offered to help me set up a store in this metaverse. So I'm going to meet with them actually in a couple minutes, and they're going to show me around, and so probably next week I'll have more information to share with you guys and how it works, and yeah. So that's I'm excited about that, because ever since I experienced The Sims many years ago, and now it's like, oh, it'd be great to have a store in Decentraland and in crypto voxels, but I had never heard of NFT World, so I'm interested in doing that, and seeing how we can all perhaps get involved.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard of them. Has anyone else? Probably Deep Thought. Deep Thought knows them all.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got a world builder, I believe. So it's similar to some of the other builders, but I think they've got an in-world builder, so you can effectively build your world quite quickly, I believe. And like you're saying, Decentraland unfortunately is priced out of the market now. When people first bought in, it was really reasonable, but now you're talking about 5-6 ETH to get a just a tiny strip of land, a 1x1.
Yeah.
What do you think of Superworld? Have you seen that?
I've seen it, but I've not really explored it properly.
It's one of the only platforms I've seen which you buy real estate in the real world and you can augment. So you buy like 0.1 ETH for 100 meter square.
Okay.
And I thought that was quite good little test environment.
Oh yeah, beg your pardon. I have looked at this one. I dismissed it on the basis that I was thinking at some point the real owners of the land and the property, etc. Because Because at some point, when the real world catches up with Web3, you'd think suddenly someone's built a virtual environment of your house or your business, or if you're Facebook or Apple, someone's leaping around in your environment. At what point will big business sort of say, well, hang on, guys, we own the rights to that. Because we own the physical rights, therefore the digital rights could extend. But I love the concept because you can put an augmented layer across it as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It might
I've spoken to
become an issue.
contact lawyers about
With
this.
the Dussu. Remember Sony and the .com thing when Sony didn't reserve their Sony.com and somebody else got the rights to it. All the trouble they had to go through and how much they had to pay to buy that back, or to buy that back from the guy who was sitting on it. He got millions.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And for example, in Web3, it's still a bit of a wild west. But I think when you look at, say, digital twins, it might be a slightly different legal position. But that's just my humble interpretation of it.
I know a little bit about this, and I'm working in that area with the Registers of Scotland, which are the oldest registry in the world, and some contract lawyers. So my understanding is that what you're talking about is not property in the sense of property that legal speak. It's a contract for the airspace in the three-dimensional space outside of your property that you can claim. So in our case, it's the park. So like, think of the Google Street View. They've driven around on public highways and scanned effectively the entire city from the viewpoint of someone that can go into all of the areas in the public domain. So we're just doing the same thing. I wouldn't obviously try and take someone's brand like Stonehenge, for example. English Heritage would definitely say there's a copyright law and problem there. But if you're just doing on public highways and pathways, you're basically just scanning, and then you own that virtual property. That's a contract, and that metaverse property you can own, and it won't affect the ownership of the ground person beneath. So it's basically public areas.
That. I agree with that. I'm just thinking to your point around branding. So, I own the Eiffel Tower. France may get a little bit pissed over it, or those brand conflicts, as opposed to, like you say, just three-dimensional electrons flying around in the metaverse. Yeah, completely.
If you look, most of those are already blocked out. I've tried.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Guys, please keep discussing, but I have to rush off. I'm already late. See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything.